Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're gonna get straight into our penny stock watch list. So we're gonna start the day off here with Humble. So Humble was up a nice 5.79%, trading very nicely along our 50 SMA. You can see our MACD is starting to curl up, and so this setup is starting to look extremely bullish here for Humble. We want to break resistance at this point here. Once we break this level of resistance, we will start to make larger moves to the upside, in my opinion. And we do have a catalyst, our ticker change, and so that could be a nice little catalyst to bring us up here in the short term. Second stock of the day here, we're looking at SNDL on the daily time frame. So we're up 2% today. If we look at our price action, again, we are still just kind of consolidating along this range. We have still very nice price action above all of our SMAs. Our MACD though seems to be in line right now with our signal line, so we still have not really got definitive movement. We do still have a positive MACD, but this is starting to look like a nice accumulation zone. I've been saying that since this point on. I think as long as we are above this point and the longer we stay above this point, it does give me more conviction that this is more of an accumulation zone for the next move up. And so that's how I kind of see SNDL here. And so I'm excited to see how this one plays out in the next following weeks. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN here on the daily time frame. So we're up 3.7% here on IGEN, and every single day we have been interacting very closely to our 50 SMA, but we always end up bouncing back. We've seen extremely bullish price action on IGEN recently. Our MACD is leveling out right here, and it does look like we are flattening here, and we do have a positive MACD. And so if we can kind of creep up here next week and get across of the signal line, that would be extremely bullish. Right now IGEN is in that accumulation zone for that next level up. It does look like investors are anticipating some news to come out, and I do believe we should get a lot of good news in the next coming months, and so IGEN is going to be a very solid play in that time. Next stock of the day, we're looking at WDLF on the 30-minute time frame. So Social Life now, we're closed out the day extremely nice, up 4%. And now we are leaning towards the top side of our wedge. And so if we get some nice movement and a break of this level, I think this stock is gone. I do expect this one to claw up, slowly creep up a little bit, and then have a nice little run up here. And so we have next week to figure out where this one wants to go. But right now the price action looks extremely bullish here on Social Life Network. You guys do know I recently entered a long position here, and I'm very excited to see how this one plays out next week. And so this stock was on our watch list. If you guys are OGs, you know this has been on our watch list for a couple months now, and I recently took this off of our watch list. I had a position in this actually at the beginning of the week. I did sell out of that position to buy Social Life Network. What's crazy is as soon as that happens, the stock goes up 80%. We've seen highs today of up 100%. And so with this stock, we were waiting to break this level of resistance, and you could see we blew past this level, as well as a larger and longer term level of resistance. So overall, we had a spectacular day here in FERN. So those of you guys who still ended up buying and keeping this one, y'all would have made a lot of money. I do kind of regret selling FERN when I did, but I do believe I have a gem in Social Life Network, so it was kind of tough to see FERN go up 100%, but it is what it is. That's just how the market works. And so it is great to know that whatever stocks we have do have potential. It's just a matter of which ones you choose and how long you decide to hold on to them. So this is a great lesson for me for FERN. If you have strong conviction on something, you stick with it. Don't let anything or anyone change your mind about certain scenarios. And so with FERN, if I stuck to my guns, we would have been up significantly. So that was just a lesson learned here, but super phenomenal day here on FERN Hail stock. Next stock of the day, looking at SEGI on the 30-minute time frame. So we're down 5.84%. And one thing I want to mention here is I told you guys I tried buying the stock, but it wouldn't let me buy it. And so if I was not able to buy this stock off of TD, that means there's probably a lot of you who also could not buy this stock. And so that is one thing to kind of remember with SEGI, that if there are some restrictions on buyers, then obviously we can't get that type of buying that we want. Overall, I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. I think we're going to get enough buyers in SEGI to run this price up, but that is one thing to keep into consideration, that there is some restrictions on some buyers that aren't able to buy this stock. And so I'm kind of annoyed that I can't buy it, but I do believe those of you who are getting at these levels are going to make a nice return. And so overall, we are just kind of trading along our 50 SMA, and so we did close below it, so that does look a little bit bearish, but we are still above all of our support lines. And so we'll see how this one goes for the next week. Next stock of the day, looking at MJNA here on the 30-minute time frame. So again, we were down 1.57%. We are just continuing to trade sideways with a slight little bleed to the downside, still above all of our SMAs, still above support. And so overall, we are still sitting very nicely here on MJNA. Very nice accumulation and consolidation zone here on MJNA. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI on the 30-minute time frame. And so since we've been covering this stock, it has been doing absolutely phenomenal for us. Up 16% today, and the setup for this one looked extremely gorgeous, which is why we kind of got on this one. And so this one has just been performing very nicely since this bottom here on our 100-day SMA. I still do see a lot more upside here in the short term for ALYI, and so far it's been a solid runner for us. Next stock of the day, looking at HYSR on the 30-minute time frame. So up only 2%, but still we are trading in no man's land. We are starting to consolidate, it looks like, along our 100-day SMA. And so if we consolidate here for a little bit longer, this might be a really nice time to get some position into HYSR. And so I want to see a little bit longer price action just to see where we head in the short term, because again, a lot of these tech companies with no revenues and a lot of future potential are going to get hit. Next stock of the day, looking at ACDC. So ACDC was flat today, and again, this stock has just been consolidating sideways. If you look at our MACD on the 30-minute time frame, it has just leveled off right here, and this does let me know that because we have not really fallen off a cliff, we are going to consolidate in this range, and this is going to be a very nice range to buy shares for the next leg up. And so with ACDC, this was not a bad time to get a starter position. If we do go lower, great time to average down. But I think for the long term, this is going to be a nice play, and this is going to act as a solid level of support for that next level up. Next stock of the day, looking at HIGHT on the 30-minute time frame. So solid day, up 5.19%, and now HIGHT is doing exactly what we kind of anticipated. We expect HIGHT to get a test of this 85 cents range. We do expect to get rejected at this point, and then by then I do believe our 50 SMA will start to creep up within this channel, and then we will continue to slowly bleed down, get a back test off this 50, and then we will start to make our way up. And so patience is the name of the game here with HIGHT. We have a good stock, we have a great setup, and so we're just going to patiently wait here. If we do end up getting back here to these levels, I will be adding a lot more to my position here on HIGHT. This is a phenomenal stock that continues to open up new stores. They just opened one up in Alberta, and so a lot of good news has just been coming out from HIGHT, and so can't wait to see how this one trades next week. There you guys have it. That was our quick little update here on our explosive penny stock watch list. We had a lot of runners today, and we have a lot of stocks that are getting ready to explode. And so this is a very great time to be getting into these stocks. And so everybody who's watching these videos, I hope we make a lot of money on these plays, because if you guys have been following me, we have been covering these stocks for a very long time, and I have not seen any better setups than we've seen right now. And so this is a very great time to be buying. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.